start, as always, with the four great Bodhisattva vows. Sentient beings are numberless. We vow to help them all. Delusions are countless. We vow to see through them all. Opportunities to awaken are infinite. We vow to embrace them all. The Buddha way is endless. We vow to embody it. So let's get started with our, as always, 15 minutes of seated meditation. would chant the Gatha on opening the sutras. This Dharma, incomparably profound and minutely subtle, is rarely encountered even in hundreds of thousands of millions of ages. Now we see it, hear it, hold and maintain it. May we completely realize the true mind of all Buddhas. Hi! Greetings, my Bodhisattva friends. Relax. Although we do have a little audience participation to start with tonight. So what I would like you to do is turn on your cameras and unmute your microphones, even though I know it's a train wreck when people have their microphones unmuted and try to answer things in unison. We're gonna shoot for it anyway. So you have to answer quickly, and they're one-word answers. There's only 2 questions, so answer quickly, 1 word. Okay? As Buddhists, what do we want?
Nothing.
End of suffering. Oh, 3 words.
Come on, what do we want?
Awakening.
Nirvana.
Okay. And when do we want it?
Yes,
Now.
You know, I'm not taking you guys to the barricades if you can't be a little bit more enthusiastic about this. May Day is coming. Vesak is coming. So let's try it one more time. What do we want?
Enlightenment.
Nirvana.
And when do we want it?
Now.
Now.
When?
No.
It's always that one wise guy. Okay, and different word, again, 1 answer, and answer quickly. Okay? As Buddhists, what do we want to be?
Buddhist.
Buddha.
Buddha.
Okay. I was shooting
Ray
for
says.
happy, actually, but I don't think we're going to get there somehow. So, and when do we want it? Now. Okay? So what do we
Eventually.
want? Enlightenment. When do we want it? Now. What do we want to be? Happy. When do we want it? Now.
This is
Okay.
the worst show of Family Feud I have ever seen.
Okay, you can all remute your microphones, please.
Especially Kevin.
Please.
Please unmute your microphone or mute your microphones. Okay, so let me read a wee bit of the Heart Sutra or the Platform Sutra to you. To realize that nothing can be seen, but to retain the concept of invisibility is like the surface of the sun obscured by passing clouds. To realize that nothing is knowable, but to retain the concept of unknowability may be likened to a clear sky disfigured by a lightning flash. To let these arbitrary concepts rise spontaneously in your mind indicates that you have misidentified the essence of mind and that you have not yet found the skillful means to realize it. If you realize for one moment that these arbitrary concepts are wrong, your own spiritual light will shine forth permanently. And that's followed up by, having heard this, Sichang at once felt that his mind was enlightened. Thereupon he submitted the following stanza to the patriarch. To allow the concepts of invisibility and unknowability to rise in the mind is to seek Bodhi without freeing oneself from the concepts of phenomena. He who is puffed up by the slightest impression, I am now enlightened, is no better than when he was under delusion. Had I not put myself at the feet of the patriarch, I should have been bewildered without knowing the right way to go. And this is from a story that you're probably familiar with. Jian Yang then sighed and said, "A picture of a cake can't satisfy hunger." He then burned all his books and said, "During this lifetime, I won't study the essential doctrine. I'll just become a common mendicant monk, and I won't apply my mind to this anymore." Jian Yang tearfully left Guishan. He then went traveling and eventually resided at Nanyang, the site of the grave of the national teacher Nanyang Guizhong. One day, as Jian Yang was scything the grass, a small piece of tile was knocked through the air and struck a stalk of bamboo. Upon hearing the sound of the tile hitting the bamboo, Jian Chang was instantly experienced vast enlightenment. So, we got a couple of different things going on here. On the one hand, we've got the bar of enlightenment set really, really high. And on the other hand, we've got the bar of enlightenment set really, really low. Compound this with hearing that we all have Buddha nature. We're all inherently awakened, enlightened, if you like. So, the first question that comes to mind is, what is enlightenment? Do we even know? Can we define it? Again, in some sort of instantaneous way where there's no thought necessarily involved in it. Can that be defined? And the other thing that I tried to get you to answer before was, we want to be happy. But can we define that? You know, can we define it in terms that don't involve a negative, like not sad or not wanting anything or something like that? It's like, how do you describe the word happy? And I'll give you a second to think about what an answer to each of those would be. What is enlightenment? What is happy? Would we even know it if we stepped on it like the great Lego, the great cosmic Lego? I think probably not. The bar is set either way too low, like, I already am a Buddha, so ergo, I don't have to do a damn thing practice-wise. I think I'm going to go kick that kid on the playground. No matter, I have Buddha nature. Or we have this lofty thing set where we know kinda that we want this thing we call enlightenment, but we can't quite decide what exactly that is, especially what it is before thought. You know, the stock answer might be, oh, to see my original face. Okay, great. Let's leave the koans out of it and speak to me in your native tongue. What does it mean? How do we know? How do we know we're not? The only way we're going to get to any of these places with any degree of accuracy, as difficult as that may be to determine, is by our practice of looking deeply inward. Now, for some, that might be just sitting on a cushion staring at a wall. That might be somebody going through a Kogan curriculum. For some, it may be something like, what is it that's asking the question, what is enlightenment? Or what is it that's chanting the name of the Buddha? Or what is it that thinks it's not happy? Take the Huadu approach. Doesn't matter. We have to strike down, we have to pare down, we have to peel back all those layers of concepts and beliefs about phenomena that we invariably have, because that's what we do. We try and figure stuff out. And usually that's where we start to, do this a little bit there. So, before thought, what do we want? When do we want it? What do we want to be? When do we want it? That probably wouldn't be particularly skillful means in a lot of situations, but for those of us who are here in our little virtual meditation room tonight, that should at least point you in a direction. How do we look deeply into these questions? I mean, if one guy can attain awakening because a piece of tile hit a piece of bamboo, and another one attained awakening by having his nose twisted by Matsu rather vociferously, and another one needed to work with his teacher and listen to his teacher and gather the teacher's experience and integrating that into his own. One thing that was really telling in that passage from the Platform Sutra was the one about he who is puffed up by the slightest impression, I am now enlightened, is no better than when he was under delusion. We all hear the adage, if you think you're enlightened, you're probably not. If you think about enlightening at all, if you think about enlightening as a thing over there somewhere and not right here, right now, without giving it a second thought, without giving it a first thought, and just work on how may I help you right here, right now, then the word enlightenment means nothing. It's only how may I help you, and how may I do it right now, right here. All right. So we'll go back and have another period of seated meditation. We'll chant the Heart Sutra. Mahaprajna Paramita Hridaya Sutra Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, when practicing deeply the Prajna Paramita, perceives that all five skandhas are empty and is saved from all suffering and distress. Shariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. That which is form is emptiness. That which is emptiness, form. The same is true of feelings, perceptions, impulses, consciousness. Shariputra, all dharmas are marked with emptiness. They do not appear or disappear, are not tainted or pure, do not increase or decrease. Therefore in emptiness, no form, no feelings, perceptions, impulses, consciousness, no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no color, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, no realm of eyes, and so forth, until no realm of mind consciousness, no ignorance, and also no extinction of it, and so forth, until no old age and death, and also no extinction of it, no suffering, no origination, no stopping, no path, no cognition, also no attainment, with nothing to attain. The bodhisattva depends on prajna paramita, and the mind is no hindrance. Without any hindrance, no fears exist. Far apart from every perverted view, one dwells in nirvana. In the three worlds, all Buddhas depend on prajna paramita and attain anuttara samyak sambodhi. Therefore know that prajna paramita is the great transcendent mantra, is the great bright mantra, is the utmost mantra, is the supreme mantra, which is able to relieve all suffering and is true, not false. So proclaim the prajna paramita mantra. Proclaim the mantra which says gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhisvaha. Gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhisvaha. Gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhisvaha. We'll do our personal dedications of merit now. I'll have a few names, and you can add some in when I ask you for them. All sentient beings are one seamless body and pass quickly from birth to death. We remember those who cared for us and are gone, those who are ill, those who are at war, who are hungry and who are in pain. May they heal and have peace. We especially dedicate our service to Bryant Guy's mother and the Guy family. Mike Gingy Wood, Laura Haas Knox, Bailey and Joanne Sheridan, Barry. If you want to add someone in, now is the time to do it.
I have three, Melanie Bixby, Emily Epstein, and Yorick.
Any others?
Sarah and Connie.
Anyone else?
All those suffering from the violence of war and the sadness.
All beings in the 10 directions, subject to the greed, hatred, and delusions of themselves and others. All Buddhas throughout space and time, all honored ones, Bodhisattva Mahasattvas, wisdom beyond wisdom, Mahaprajna Paramita. We'll do our faith in practice vow. I will never retreat and will be firm in my mind in this correct Dharma. I will escape from the samsaric cycle of birth and death and definitely will see my original face. I will be sure to inherit the life of insight of the Buddha and save all sentient beings. Hengdal. Gratitude, Gatha?
Infinite realms of light and dark convey the Buddha mind. Birds and trees and stars and we ourselves come forth in perfect harmony. We practice and recite this for all beings in grateful thanks to our many guides along the way.
Life and death are of supreme importance. Time passes swiftly by and opportunities to awaken are easily lost. Strive to realize your true nature. And do not squander your time by night or day. I'll extinguish the candles now. And thank you for being here tonight.